what the plans are for this car. We're gonna do it. We're looking at over 400 wheel horse. New Jersey Speed Shop is trying to keep the NC transmission. He's interested in this swap too. We're building a 10-second car. Oh, that's dirty. Open up the valves. All right, so we're about to head over. Oh yeah, I got the air compulsion catch can that I still need to install. So we're heading over to the bank to wire over the funds for our second 124 Spider Abarth as a project car. We're gonna talk about what we're doing to it, what the plans are in a little bit. So let me head over there, take care of that, and then go into the details. All right, we're leaving the bank. We just sent over the funds for the second 124 Spider that I've been talking about. We're gonna go on a little drive, and I'm gonna tell you guys what the plans are. I'm not gonna hold back this time. I know my previous video I said in a future video I will tell you, and that is this video. Now, I didn't really plan this out. I'm really bad at like planning out videos in the sense of like what I'm gonna do and say. So I'm just gonna basically tell you guys what the plans are for this car and see wherever else this video goes. Maybe you got some nice driving clips in, I don't know. Let's see. Cold roads. Slip, slip, slip. Okay, so let me think a little bit. First, I'll start off with saying that in my last video, I had a lot of people guessing. Like I said, I don't plan this out, so if I was home, I would have probably had the list. I'll put it on screen, the list of what you guys guessed. It was a lot of Italian engine swaps, I remember. I've heard other people say Maserati engines and the 4C engines and this and that. I don't know if it was in the comments that were on my video, but in general, I've seen a lot of folks say that. You know, the LF swap and some other American engine swaps and everything. But no one got it right. Nobody got the engine right or the country right. And I know some people aren't going to like this, and some people are going to appreciate it. But what we're gonna do is we're going to put, this is the plan at least, don't hold us to it, we gotta see where things go. We're gonna do a K24 swap, because you know how it goes, K-swap the world. There's a reason why we're doing a K-swap. There's actually a lot of reasons. One, that engine is extremely reliable, it's extremely affordable, and it could put down some pretty damn good power numbers on pump gas reliably without really touching it. Little bolt-ons here and there and a turbo kit. We're looking at over 400 wheel horse, probably near 300 wheel torque, and those numbers could jump up easily to 500 and 600 if you really want to, but without even touching the engine really. From the little bit of research I've done, like yes, I have an RSX Type S that has a K20 in it. K20 is a 2.0 liter and a K24 is a 2.4 liter. The K24 being a 2.4 liter is going to rev not as high, tuned with, like I said, the little bit of research I've done, and I hope that I'm getting a lot of people excited both from the 124 Spider and the Abarth community, and hopefully the Honda, Acura folks, JDM folks are going to enjoy this build because it's a mix of both. So from the little research I've done, like I said, the K24 with the basically what I have in my RSX, the K20 oil pump, and I think it's called a 50-degree VTC geared or whatever, that's allows a tuner more tunability, so to say. With those, the car should be able to safely rev to 8,000 RPM, make peak power all the way up until that, have some good mid-range torque compared to this K20. The hell, big truck guy over there. It should make some pretty good mid-range torque compared to a K20. Okay, buddy. So I'm excited about this. We're gonna put, like I said, the K24 in there. We need to do a lot of fabrication and work. I'm gonna be working with a lot of companies. New Jersey Speed Shop is the one that's gonna be helping me with the actual build. I'll need some outside sources. We need an adapter plate for the transmission. We need a flywheel and everything custom from a K-series to the to the NC transmission that's in the 124 Spider, because honestly, the goal right now is to try and keep the NC transmission. When I say NC, for folks who don't know, the 124 Spider is based off the Miata, based off the current ND Miata platform. It shares the same chassis and all that crap and some other stuff, interior bits, whatever. But the transmission is off of the prior generation Miata, which is the NC generation. So the goal is to do that because I want to do this to my car. There's another guy, used to go by Spoolin32. I'll put his Instagram, his YouTube, all that stuff. He races at the track in California. He's done a lot of stuff. He's a heck of a freaking driver from the videos I've seen. He's interested in this swap too. And ironically, I'm buying this car from him. The 124 Spider that I'm buying is his old 124 Spider because he has a new one. And it's crazy, it's funny how things go full circle. When I first got my 124 Spider, the one we're in right now, one of the first mods I did when I went with Euro Compulsion Phase 1 Tune, which is now on Driven District, if anyone's curious, I got the Euro Compulsion V4 intake, and I bought it from this guy on, or through the Facebook groups. I didn't know him, I just bought it, and now, the funny thing is, not only did I buy it from him and now I'm buying his car, that intake was off of this white car that I'm buying now. Because that car was in a slight accident with him on track. He fixed it up though. We need to do a little bit of work once we get it, so hopefully we'll be able to take care of all that. But yeah, it's just funny how things work. Like, I bought the intake from him and now I'm buying a car from him, and the car that I'm buying from him over a year later is the car that he took the intake off that I bought from him a year ago. So that's kind of funny, but I'm excited. I'm excited for me to get this done, for us to get this done, everyone involved. Then I'm excited to eventually get it on his car, because I've seen his videos, man, they're pretty crazy. Like, he'll keep up with Porsches, Ferraris and stuff on the twisties and everything, but then on the straightaways, they'll kind of, you know, let's see where we're gonna go. There's way too much traffic here. On the straights and stuff, they'll take them. It's a 124 Spider. If you guys know these cars, like, it's got good mid-range torque, it's powerful, and it handles amazing. So he'll go through, freaking keep up with them, diving in on everyone. But on the streets, those Porsches and other cars are just whoop, going right at, you see him chasing away from him. I told him, now that's not gonna happen. To put things in perspective, it comes out to power to weight ratio. So I use one of those, what do you call them? Quarter-mile estimators online, and I actually went back on an old forum and found my Evo 10 numbers. Eventually, it was bigger turbo methanol. It was like 473 wheel horse, but I didn't bring it to the drag strip then. I brought it only when it was bolt-ons in a tune. And again, I'll put it on screen because I can't off the top of my head remember everything, but basically, I punched in the wheel horsepower that I got from a true dyno run when it was dyno tuned. I put in the weight of the vehicle, and it told me I should run a 12.8 at 111 miles per hour. Do you know what I really ran at the track? A 12.6, extremely close, at 111 miles per hour. That calculator estimated my mile per hour, my ET, sorry, the trap speed, to the T on the dot, and the ET was within 0.2 seconds. So with that being said, I punched in 400 wheel horsepower with about 2,600 pounds, because the 124 weighs about 24 and change, plus a person in the car, etc. And there's weight reduction done to this car. So about 2,600 pounds, 400 wheel horsepower. Do you know what it spit out? It spit out a freaking 10.8 at 131 miles per hour. A lot of that's gonna come down to getting the traction to the ground, being able to get a good 60 foot. But we're building a 10-second car. That's what's going on here. Again, we are still in the early steps, so I don't want to like go, I don't know, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm thinking logical. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of things that are going to come up. When it comes to something like this, an engine swap, it's like, you know, we got a plan, we got a vision, but as we start doing it, we're going to be running into things. There's a lot of custom stuff that has to get done between the intake manifold, the exhaust manifold, especially with the turbo when we do that and everything. So there's a lot that's going to have to get done. But I'm super pumped to do this. Hopefully you guys are excited. Definitely, if you're not already and you want to learn more on this build, I'm going to document it as much as I can. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I was about to give you guys a finger by going 1-2 instead of 1-2. Instagram is probably the best. I update on there a lot. Facebook as well, I share a lot of stuff, and definitely YouTube, because that's where the nitty-gritty stuff will be. Let's see, do a little second gear rip at 4,000 RPM. There we go. Let's see, what was that? 24.2 pounds of boost. See, this car has a very punchy mid-range, and with the upgraded turbo, which is more or less a reworked factory turbo, internally reworked, it flows better, it holds boost up top a lot better. Initially this car would make a lot of torque and then fall on its face up top, stock, even tuned, because it would just drop off so much. But now, and for reference, when I was stock turbo tuned, I would drop to 15, 16 PSI by redline, and now, I wasn't staring, but I know from previous runs, it would hold well over 20 pounds to redline, like 22, 23. That's a big difference. So it definitely does not fall on its face anymore up top, but it's still a car that is more of a torque, I would say torque monster, but it's not like insane, but it's just a car that makes much more torque, and then it still slightly falls off up top. And there's only so much you can do with this little tiny 1.4 liter multi-air engine. We're going from a 1.4 liter to a 2.4 liter. This thing revs out to like 6,500 factory tuned. Right now I'm at like 68. The K24 is going to be going to 8,000 and making power to 8,000. Where this one does not make peak power, nowhere near redline. So it's going to be a completely different power delivery. This car, like I said, it's made in Japan. It's got Japanese in her, you know what I'm saying? It's got some Italian, it's got some Japanese. All I'm doing is taking away a little bit of the Italian, putting a little more Japanese in her. That didn't sound right. Now, I didn't want to do this to my personal 124 Spider, because honestly, as excited as I am to do this, well, two reasons. One, the downtime. But even if it wasn't because of the downtime, I wouldn't want to do it, because I love the way this car feels. I love the way this car sounds, and I didn't want to take away the soul, you know, the heart, the soul of the car. I love it. The car sounds amazing. There are not that many 4-cylinders that sound as good as this car. I love the punchy mid-range. As a daily driver going around town, it makes power super low, super punchy. It feels awesome, and I wanted to keep that. At the same time, I wanted to build something a little bit different. And the way I like to call it, believe it or not, is I'm trying to build a modern day S2000, more or less. I've had an S2000. I've regretted selling it. I've said that in multiple videos. That's another reason why the 124 Spider really grabbed my attention. But the power delivery is so different. It's a night and day. This thing's all, like I said, mid-range, torque, falls off up top, doesn't rev high. S2000 is rev the hell out of it to make that power, and it doesn't make a lot of mid-range. So I'm just super pumped. I'm super excited to be able to have both of these 124s and be able to have them completely different. One, like I said, it's still gonna have the heart and soul of what the car was meant to be and the way it feels. And then we're gonna have one that, like I said, it's like a modern day S2000. So I'm really pumped to do that. Hoping you guys are excited about that too. Like I said, I know I'm gonna get some haters for this. They're gonna be like, why the hell are you dropping a Japanese engine in there? A lot of folks want to stay with the Italian stuff. Fiat, Abarth, whatever, they actually put the Alfa Romeo 4C engine in their rally car, and I believe they put it with some sort of DCT. I believe it was a dual clutch to a degree. It wasn't a manual transmission. I want to keep it manual, so we're going to try and see if this NC transmission can hold up, obviously with an upgraded clutch. That's about it, you know. It's kind of almost rush hour, so didn't really get too many pulls in, but it's just more of an update, telling you guys what the plans are, what's to come. So definitely subscribe if you're interested. Check out drivendistrict.com if you want to pick up some merch and car parts. Driven District shirt that I'm rocking right now if you want to get it, plus a lot of other stuff. Enjoy booze, smoke tires, not drugs, lots of different things. Great way to support the channel. We're gonna need some of that, because this is gonna become a lot more expensive than we anticipated. I can already tell there's a lot of custom work that's gonna have to get done to it. So hopefully you guys are going to join for the ride, and you guys can enjoy the build. Definitely give me some input as well for a lot of the folks who are a little bit more mechanically inclined than me when it comes to the swap, or people who are informed about the K24s, all that different stuff. I'll have another video going over what turbo I'm looking to do, because I'm not looking to go too crazy. I want it to still spool up fairly quick, and 400 wheel horse is honestly not that much when it comes to a K series, so I'm not going to need a massive turbo. People are pushing 600 with like a larger frame turbo, but I'm not looking to do that. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. We'll have another video going more in depth on the turbo setup and other things, and drop your comments and opinions down as well. Let me know what you think about everything. If you're excited, give it a like, all that stuff, share it. I definitely want to get some attention on this build. I think it's going to be really exciting. And that's it. Enough of me rambling. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks a lot.